Now I know what y'all thought. You probably thought when I started this video that this guy's gonna give the Super S all of the advantages, right? Because there is no doubt about it that I am a hustler guy. What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean and Green Lawn Service in beautiful South Georgia. Hey, hope y'all are having a great day. Just out here behind the house at the shop, wanting to do a quick comparison today. And drinking coffee. Now y'all know I like these machines. Y'all know I do. Alright, what we're going to look at today. This is a video I've been talking about making, hadn't taken the opportunity to make. What we have here, 2021 Scag, or 2021 Hustler Super S, and I guess about a 21 Scag V-Ride. One of the things you find with Scag, even after talking to one of their reps, they do not put year models on it. They have serial numbers, and the serial number, I think it'll actually tell you when it was built. This one was built in September of 2019, I guess. Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be a 2020 or something like that, but they don't actually put serial numbers on them. So anyway, I just want to talk about these two machines. We'll look at the hours on them. The Super S has 338 hours on it. So, you know, we have put those hours on this machine. I think I got it with about 15 or 17 hours on it. It was a demo. And the Scag has 581 hours, and I think we bought it somewhere around 500 hours. So we only put about 80 hours or so on this machine. Just a couple of things I want to talk about the two, just kind of comparing them. Seat. As y'all know, I've had to get a new seat for this one. I've never put it on, but I do have one. The seat quality is much better on the V-Ride. Not only is it more durable, it is also more comfortable. So for the seat, we're gonna give that to the V-Ride, man. For the platform, they are very similar. Both have springs. The springs are more beefy on the V-Ride, but the springs really don't do a whole lot on either one of them. They're more so to bring the platform back up so you can't get off of it with the blades running. Or in the case of the V-Ride, you can't get off of it even with the parking brake disengaged. What really makes both of these machines, what really gives you your ride is the this one has some springs, some big coil springs under there. And you see that? That's a lot of give right there. That has a lot of give. On the Super S, all you have are these little rubber bushings under here. And I don't think there's anything under the front of it like the coil springs. And these here, you just don't have the same amount of travel, the same amount of cushion. So as far as the ride goes, again, that would go to the Scag V-Ride 2. Fuel capacity, both of them are about the same, single tanks, gauges on top. Again, single tank gauge on top. You do have, with the V-Ride, you have a cup holder. So I guess if you wanted to give a nod to one or the other because of the cup holder, you could give that to the V-Ride. So the V-Ride's doing really well, isn't it? Battery access, basically the same on both machines. Just simple over the fender. So again, very similar. Almost identical, just on different sides. Access to your hydros and stuff on the Super S, you have, this may be hard to do with one hand, really easy access on the Super S. I'm almost certain that's not supposed to be laying down there like that. On the V-Ride, you have same thing. Loosen up something, you got access. Okay. So again, very similar. I know the camera's all over the place. Very similar again as far as that is concerned. Not a huge difference. So not a huge difference. Of course, on my Super S, I have the grass flap, and on the V-Ride, I have the advanced chute system. As far as tires are concerned, the tires are the same size. Rear tires are the same size. In fact, I think even the front tires are probably the same size. That might be a little bit different in the front tires, but the back tires are these 24 by 12 by 12s, and that's on both machines. Leaves a really good footprint, especially if you get in a soft place. So pretty much the same. Both of these have, I think, what is rated to be a 29.5 horsepower. We got the 850 EFI on this Kawasaki, and over here we have the Kohler. I don't remember. I'm not super familiar with Kohler and how they designate everything. It's a 29 CV EFI. It may only be 29 horsepower. I think that one's rated at 29.5. Kohler does have a shutoff valve for the fuel right here, whereas I do not think there's a shutoff valve anywhere for the fuel. Or Scag does. I don't think there's a shutoff valve anywhere for the fuel on here. So pretty simple as far as getting on the machine. Brake, height control right here. On the V-Ride, you got brake on the left hand side and height control right here. So again, very comparable. Even their height adjustment is very comparable. Let's see, there's the Scag, and they're all well marked. On the Scag, you can take and move this bolt. Let's say one benefit to it is, let's say that you got guys cutting for you and you want to make sure they never go below 2 1/4. Well, you can actually take that bolt and put it in the 2 1/4 slot, and they'd never be able to go below 2 1/4. So that is you know, just a little plus, I guess. I mean, you could always get you a bolt and do the same thing on here, but the Scag already comes equipped with that. So again, that's, I guess, another little plus for the Scag when you think in terms of that. As far as, let me show y'all something here. All right, one of the things too I do really like about the Scag is notice how much room there is under these. I mean, you can take the blower and very easily blow this out. It is it's probably a good inch higher than these, and these are even higher than the sit downs. I hate the one on the X1. The X1 probably only has about an inch gap between here, and it just gets so much stuff under it. So again, that's another little plus, just looking at the Scag compared to the Super S. Now, I know what y'all thought. You probably thought when I started this video that this guy's going to give the Super S all of the advantages, right? Because there is no doubt about it that I am a hustler guy, you know. I am. So, but I'm just giving you an honest review, my honest opinion of them anyway. I All right, let's talk about some more things. Let's talk about cut quality. I don't think there's a big difference in the cut quality of these two machines. If I had to give a slight advantage to one, in wet, thick grass, it would be this Velocity deck. But I think apples to apples, just our regular everyday cutting, they seem to cut with about the same amount of quality. You know, now again, we're not far enough into the season for me to say 100% on that one way or another. One of the things I really like that Scag has done over Hustler, and I know the new Hustlers have this, the new Super Z's have this metal which has been cut out, and then you just see the paint as the backdrop in there to give you that name, whereas Hustler uses a lot of decals, and decals on lawn equipment just don't hold up. You can see how that Scag decal over there is damaged. On this Super S, you can see where the decal is coming off. As far as accessibility, we already seen to the drop to the hydro reservoirs on the back. Oh, I'm wrong. Hustler does have a shutoff valve there. I've never used it. So there you go. If you change out the fuel filter or something, that comes in really handy. And I've changed that fuel filter. I apparently didn't turn it off though. As far as accessibility for oil change, really easy. Accessibility to greasing, most of the things that need to be greased is about the same on both machines. Not a whole lot of difference there. Now, let's talk about something that's really important. Let's talk about cutting efficiency. Cutting efficiency, hands down, without question, the Super S dominates. The Super S dominates the V-Ride. I mean, it is noticeably different. When I go from the V-Ride to the Super S, it's like going from my old Raptor SD to the X1 in terms of just speed and covering ground. Now, with that, there is a little caveat there. When I say the cutting quality between the two is, in my mind, equal, that is when you run the Super S at the same speed the Scag tops out at. I don't know, this Scag, I feel like it only goes about 8 miles an hour. And this thing runs about 11 miles an hour. So if you run this at 8 miles an hour, it'll do every bit as good of a job as the Scag does. The difference is we cut a lot of stuff that is small. You know, we cut a lot of centipede. Of course, we got Bahia grass, but when we get in centipede lawns, when we get in big open areas where, yeah, I mean, we cut fields almost the size of this right here, and a lot of that stuff is a one-pass cut, and it's a one-pass cut at wide open. On the X1, wide open, you know, on the Super S, wide open on the Super Z, because I got my Super Z turned down to about 11 miles an hour. And I mean, if you're making a long run, say from here to the church and back, you'll do 4 passes on this one while you do 3 on this one. I mean, when I go out and I cut, say, a 5-acre property, even a 3-acre and up, where it's just open running, the Super S absolutely dominates the V-Ride. I mean, that's just the reality of it. In fact, I wondered at one time if my hydro hoses weren't backwards on this thing or something, because it just seems to be slow. Now, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to cut grass, right? Now, again, and this is for the kind of grass that we're cutting. Now, if you were cutting somewhere up north, weekly, fertilized, irrigated, taking 3 to 4 inches of grass off every week, laying down those nice, pretty stripes, moving a lot of material, you're not going to be running that fast, number one. Number two is, I do think in that situation that the Velocity deck would probably move the grass a little bit better than this VX does, I think. I mean, I don't know. I have not tested that. In a situation like that, I would probably give the nod to the Scag, because this thing would simply run too fast to cut with anyway. But as far as productivity, no doubt in my mind, if I got to get out there and I got to get something cut and move on to the next one, I want to be on the Super S. Now, a feature or two that I do not like about, or just some comparisons, I guess, if you will. You cannot step off of this machine without putting a parking brake on. I do not like that. I understand that you should not be able to get off the machine with the blades on. The platforms control that on both of these machines, okay? You cannot get off with the blades on, so you have to turn the blades off. The thing that I like about the Super S is, let's say you're running down through here out to the road, and there's a styrofoam cup out in your next run. On this here, all I have to do is I pull up to it, I hop off, I grab the cup, I usually throw it right down here, back up, blades on, I'm gone, right? It's a two-step process, if you will. Blades off, blades on, get on. On the Scag, it is a three-step process. It is blades off, right? Emergency brake on, get off, pick up the trash, throw the trash down here, get back on, emergency brake off, turn the blades back on, and go, right? So I have really been spoiled with the way the emergency brakes on here works on the Super S. And of course, if you know all Hustler products, on our sit-down units, the brake is built into the control handle. So anytime the handles are all the way out, the brake's on, you can get off the piece of equipment. So certainly that's one of the things that I do not like about the Scag. One of the other things I do not like about the Scag is changing the blades. I do not like the way you have to change the blades, right? Same thing, we can put our Super Jack under here, get under there, drop 3 bolts down, 3 blades, take the old blades off, new blades on, 3 bolts up, tighten them, we're good to go. This one, you got the top and the bottom, right? You got a nut on top, so you have to hold the nut up top, loosen it from the bottom. Now, I have found that if you'll hold the blade on the bottom, you can just about take them off by putting the impact on top. The only issue you get into is the muffler gets in the way of your impact, right? So that's one of those things where I give clearly, in my mind, there's an advantage to the Super S. Now, long term, are there situations where those bolts going all the way through are better? Maybe there is. I really don't know. I just don't personally like it myself. I really don't. But you know, other than that, everything is pretty good. As far as the oil change on here, one thing I did not mention is these actually have a hose on them. And if you look, right here is the hose. So all you have to do is get your oil pan under that hose. Now, the problem with that is you got to have a really low profile oil pan to get down there, because you don't have a whole lot of room. One of the other things I've noticed about the V-Ride, for some reason, it wears really bad on the insides of the tires. Now, I have not replaced this one, but it is definitely slick. It slides around. I did replace the one on this side. I have a new one for that one, but I hadn't replaced it. I went ahead and did that one because it was worn way more than this one was. But the guys complain about this one all the time not having any traction, so I guess I need to keep that as a spare and go ahead and put the new one on here. And I might do that while I'm kind of taking it easy this week, you know, for a few more days. So anyway, look, at the end of the day, both of these are great machines. I mean, great machines. You could build a business around either one of these machines. Now, man, my battery died on me. All right, so there are going to be, again, what I was saying, there are going to be certain contexts where this machine is going to outperform this machine, or they're going to perform equally, or this machine is going to outperform that machine. A lot of this has to do with what you cut, you know, what your needs are as a business owner, what the needs are of the homeowners, the properties that you service, okay? Both of these are great mowers. And look, I'm one of those, I've said this before, people ask me questions all the time. Hey, should I get a Gravely? Should I get a Scag? Should I get a Hustler? I'll tell you this, I've only run Hustler and Scag. If I were not running Hustler, I would personally probably run Scag, but I would not be against trying Gravely. Gravely would probably be my only other option that I would consider close by me where I live here. I think Grasshopper, you know, looks like they build a really good machine, but I don't have a dealer close to me. I do have a dealer fairly close that sells Ferris. Ferris is something that I would be willing to give a try, you know. And I think all these machines are built for what we use them for. They're built to go out there and to work hard all day long. Now, different kind of grasses, different cutting frequencies, fertilized versus non-fertilized, irrigated versus non-irrigated. All of those things are probably going to be a factor in deciding which piece of equipment is best for any given business owner. For me, you know, the Hustlers work well, and as long as that's working well, I'm going to continue to run them. I think Scag is probably one of the best mowers out there. It's one of the reasons I went and bought that V-Ride, because I just wanted to see how one would do, and I come across a good deal on it. I said, heck, I'm going to buy it. And if I came across a deal like that on a Gravely, or, you know, or something, I might buy one of them to try it out. Who knows, you know? But anyway, hey, I hope, I know some of you have asked about this, so I hope this information is helpful. Maybe somebody's looking into buying a Hustler or a Scag, or you're looking at either one of these units and you got questions on it. If you drop them in the comment, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you and give you my honest opinion on it, not just my personal preference. So hey, appreciate you watching. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from Him. Hope you have a great day.